What's up, family? Welcome to episode 18 of Great Talks. This episode, we are talking about selfishness. This topic was suggested by one of my good guys. Here's his Instagram. Tell him I sent you. I'm sure we've all had our run-ins with selfish people. I have myself. The first two people that come to mind when I think about selfish people that I've dealt with just so happen to be women. No, I do not hate women, and yes, I love my mother. Thank you for asking. One of those women lived 3.5 hours away from me. So anytime we wanted to connect, I would have to make a trip to where she was. And every time I made that trip, which was several times, we would spend the whole time doing what she wanted. It was literally all about her. And when it wasn't, it was a problem. I remember asking her one time, I was like, dang, when you gonna do something for me? That's not what bothered me the most though. The part that bothered me the most was that she was never willing to make that trip for me. If I didn't plan time away from what I was doing and get in my car and make that long trip, we would never see each other. I wish I was exaggerating. I don't know about y'all, but that sounds kind of selfish to me. And the other woman I mentioned, you know what? I don't even want to talk about that one because she ruined me. I asked a woman with some good sense her take on this, and this is what she shared with me. She said that people who are selfish only think of themselves and think the world revolves around them. They think they deserve everything, so they take everything and don't see anything wrong with it because they feel that's how it's supposed to be. She said she thinks women are selfish due to insecurities and that a lot of women think that nothing is ever enough. So they just keep taking and taking to satisfy themselves. Listen, this isn't a let's bash women video, and this is not addressing women as a whole. I know men who are very selfish as well, and I despise that trait regardless of gender. So where does selfishness come from? Selfishness is a result of the fall of man. The fall of man is when Adam and Eve blew a 3-0 lead and introduced sin into the world. Sin and selfishness is inherently a part of all of us because of that. But just because we are born into sin doesn't mean we have to keep intentionally choosing a life of sin. In other words, all able-minded people have the ability to either choose selfish acts or choose selfless acts. People with selfish hearts will behave selfishly, and people with selfless hearts will behave selflessly. It's that simple. The transition from selfishness to selflessness begins with acknowledgement and choosing to develop a new heart. With that being said, let's talk about the good and bad of selfish behavior. Let's start with the bad first. Examples of toxic, selfish behavior that can damage relationships and other things include being inconsiderate, being manipulative, and being self-centered. Inconsiderate people don't show any care or concern for anyone around them because they only focus on themselves. They see other people as distractions to what they want and are quick to cut people off. This type of attitude makes it difficult to maintain relationships, because who got time for that? Manipulative people will do anything to make things work in their favor. They'll put others down to boost themselves up. They are hard to trust and only serve their best interest. Self-centered people literally only care about themselves. They don't care about anybody else's needs, and they always put their needs first. Funny enough, self-centered people usually don't realize how self-centered they are until somebody else tells them. Selfishness isn't always bad though. Advantages of selfish behavior include prioritization of self-growth, communicating your needs, and positive mental health. Prioritizing your growth is technically a selfish thing, but it's 100% a necessity. At the end of the day, if you aren't taking care of you, that's a problem. If people want to call you selfish for doing what's best for you without hurting others in the process, then so be it. Communicating your wants and needs with others makes things about you, but it's for a good reason. If you don't communicate your reasonable desires, you cannot be mad when they go unmet. And if you communicate your reasonable desires with someone and they prove to you they don't respect them, that will clearly show you they are not for you. Protecting your mental health is probably the most important advantage of selfishness. If choosing your work, your relationships, your family, or anything else jeopardizes your mental health, by all means, be selfish and choose you in this context. That's probably the most important point in this video. But that's all I got for y'all. If you found value in this video, drop a like. That makes YouTube push it out to other people. And while you're at it, subscribe to this channel and keep up with your boy. I love y'all. Keep being great, family. I'm out. Easy.
Team Reez.
Thanks for watching. Click here to subscribe and click here to watch more videos.
Na 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 na.